Get it, Benno! Benny, get it! Get it, Benny! Is that Margie? Benny, get in it! How much more is it Benny supposed to get, Margie? Yeah, get... This is toy. Hello! Welcome to my tube, my tiny little tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoka. I'm an empath. I just like having these little talks, these little monologues, sometimes monologues. Mom likes to chime in. Monologue. So it's not so mono, but momo. Okay. Today is a much better day than yesterday. Thank goodness energy does not stay stagnant. You know, people, as it was said in The Good Doctor, are supposed to move forward. So oftentimes people live in circles. Cycles and circles suck. So, Mom's over here playing with Benny and the toy. Benny just got an inclination to play with the toy. One of the toys. He's being goofy today. He must be feeling the full moon or full solar eclipse energy. This one's the solar. The last one was the lunar. I get them mixed up, man. Anyway, had a nice morning out and about. That's why I called the talk helping a homie out. Sometimes you gotta help a homie out, you know? You never know who can be your homie. You know, and I gotta be mindful of this because I can freaking... I have trouble with people that have so much abundance that they'd rather freaking, you know, I don't know. I don't like really have... I have a hard time. I struggle with very materialistic, egotistical people. And they got a place on this earth just as much as I do. It's my struggle, it's not theirs. So, they teach me a lot. So, what was the point? Oh, I prefer the classics. I'm kind of old-fashioned. Mom had a 1964 Chevy Biscayne. It was all well and good until that dude slammed her head in the car door of it. Beat the snot out of her, and then he picked her up by her hair, and then freaking... Psh. Yeah, people can be mean. I've seen it my whole entire life. Anyway, so I saw this... I freaking, was going to get a cup of coffee, and Mom likes smoothies from this coffee shop called Elevation in Taos here. And, they get fresh pastries, and I appreciate the contributions that we get from people that watch my tiny tube. Because it makes things like this possible. Because I get to go to the coffee shop and then just, oh, I'll take one of these, I'll take one of these, I'll take one of these. When, you know, because that's what I like to do is I look at money as energy. And so when I get it, I like to do things to pay that forward. Anyway, what happened was I left for the coffee shop this morning earlier. And it occurred to me that about the time that I got there, that the CD that Mom was watching, the DVD, the disc of Longmire that she was watching, was the same. I didn't change it before I left. And it was about at the like mark where it would run out. And I freaking, the here, it just sucked. So I freaking hurried back. And I don't think she was sitting too long looking at the play, and she don't mind. She's got all the critters keep her. She doesn't mind. It's me. It bothers me. But she is content in all in every situation. She's a good teacher for me like that. Just being grateful in whatever you have. And so I was going back to the coffee shop round 2, take 2, and I saw this freaking, I think it was maybe a 65. I don't know. I don't know all the tricks, but I do know that makes and models. I used to be a lot better at it and like recognizing the model differences, especially in classic cars. I was like, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture of your car? Because he was broke down. Well, kind of. Yeah, air hose that came off. Yeah, the air hose that popped off. Pretty candy apple red. And I was like, well, you mind if I give it a go? I was like, I used to turn wrenches when I was in the Air Force, you know? So here's another one. This is what I do, is I freaking love going out and having these little adventures, and then I come home and I share them with Mom. Yeah. There, that's better. And I was like, because I asked, I got it, there's a picture. I was like, so did you inherit this? Did you like get it from your grandpa, your dad, or something like that? He's like, no, I've been working on it since I was a kid. And I was like, how old are you? And I don't want to get nobody in trouble, although I really wanted to say how old this kid is. I'll just say this. I'm like, man, that's pretty fucking cool. That you could be the age that you are, balling. I mean, dude had like a freaking 3/4 inch gold chain around his neck, you know. And I'm like, you could just drive around, huh? Well, that's a cool place, man. Because there's so much bigger fish to fry, I guess, with the corruption that's going on and all across the land. Anyway, that was cool. So I got his. He just lasts a lot. It was like a hose from the intake valve back. Anyway, it was an easy fix. But the parts that they make, I'm like, dude, this hose is shit. I'm like, dude, go get a rubber hose and a clamp, you know. But they make these like plastic parts and they're shit, and then they fall off when you need them, and then your shit's broke. But it looks real pretty, right? So that was cool. I introduced myself to him, and I was just like, yeah, I'm a Hale guy. Just like try and help people feel better about things. And I don't always think I do a very good job. Like I was like, when the screen pops up to set up the video, you get to see the description, and I know what I wrote when I wrote it. You know, my intention for this page is to raise people's vibes. But sometimes, man, I'm Aries, Sun, Scorpio, Moon, Cancer, Rising. I'm all in the fields, all over the place, all the time. Not just mine, the collective, people I know. And yesterday was a hard day because I liked Amy, and 51 is too young for anyone to freaking transition. And I just think there's always that, you know, because I'm pretty good at staying in touch with people. I try to stay. I just looked her up like 2 weeks ago in Facebook. She deactivated her account. I never had her number. You know, those freaking, and she had a wild story. I bet the stuff that she doesn't know that she heard, you know, because her dad was one of those military brass, the really important ones. It's all fucking money laundering for freaking egomaniacal freaking narcissists. Guys, that's all the industrial military complex is. And I know that plenty of people benefit from it because they've sat in a chair for 20 years, and then they freaking soak up their pension, you know, and go, hoorah, we did it for America. All the while, this country's flushing. It's flushing. It's cleansing. That's what Mom likes to say. There's a great cleansing happening right now. So I hope people are starting to figure out how to help homies out in the local area, just trying to make people, you know. And somebody, when I had my last reading done that Danielle did, DeSouza, she was like, how are you with money? She's like, you have no earth in your chart. How are you with money? And I was like, it's freaking a means to make other people happy. And then, like, as I demonstrated today, to make that kid happy didn't cost a dime. But my other abilities and my other skills, they come in handy, you know? But people look at me and they get an idea about me, and I'm not going to lie, I do the same thing about other people. Had a cool conversation at the coffee shop today, learned 2 things. Guys that like to hang out the table right next over, they're rock hounds, which is rad, because I've been going, I gotta find some locals to find the places to go to find cool rocks. And then there's the rock hounds. I'm a part of the group on Facebook, Rock Hounds in New Mexico, because there's rad rocks all over. And that's just like if I drive out 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I look for rocks for an hour. I come back, make mom lunch, and bring, And then I learned that, and I also learned, what was the second thing that I learned? I went off on a tangent on the rock hounds. I learned the coffee shop. I don't know, what else did he tell me? It was cool. I was walking up to the table, and the people that I know there, that I stopped by to say hi to, they were reading maps, and I like people that read maps. I should get maps. Why don't I have maps? I love them so much, and I should have like atlas books and all kinds of freaking. Put them in my backpack. Be a day camper. So I learned about that there were rock hounds there. Dang it, and that wasn't even. Oh, the other fella that I often see at the coffee shop, I got to hear about him. Because sometimes I get so carried, I just start to talking. I meet people that are soft spoken, and they like to talk an awful lot too. They never give the chance because of people like me. So this guy got to hear his story, and I was like, because everybody I meet now, I just ask them when their birthday is, and they usually know their SMR, Sun, Moon, Rising. They usually know them, all of them, so that gives me a good, and then I tell them my from what they know, but like there's 2 other Aries, a Cancer, and then the guy across, I was like, he's a quite soft-spoken man, and he was telling me about his horses. He has horses. And because I was like, my dogs are like my kids, and he was relating to me in the same level in a different way because he has horses. And he lets the kids go and ride the horses and stuff like that. I hope he's teaching them how to like take care of them proper and brush them and do all the work that goes into, people just do all the fun stuff with stuff. Like, if I ever had, like, the kids across the way, I don't know if they still have the ATVs, because they had it for a couple days, and then now I guess they're in school, too. I don't know, but they haven't been playing on them. But I was like, if I had, and then I would, like, teach them how they had to, like, check the oil, and then you could ride it for so many hours, and then, okay, now you need to change the oil, you need to change the oil filter, give it a look over, make sure all the hoses are secure, because hardware and stuff loosens up from vibration, so teach them the work, this is what you have to do to have what you have. And people lost track of that. People really did, but I don't know. I think it's coming back around. I think especially with this eclipse that's happening tomorrow morning, it's I'm always cautiously optimistic with it. That's like how I try to go through light. I'm like cautiously optimistic because it's like, you think things are gonna zig and they zag, But for today's a good day. I brought Mom a smoothie home and some local baked goods. It was carrot cake. I didn't get the distributor. I should, so I can promote local. And then Luna's good. She hasn't puked since 3 o'clock yesterday morning. So it's the probiotics. I'm pretty sure we're on the right course of action. She was out here a little while ago, but she likes it back in the room away from all the stinky boys because we have the big AC over here. That thing is going to save our ass. It's like a portable swamp cooler. This summer, that thing is going to save our ass. But there's a smaller one back in the room, and I put the fan right in front of it so it blows the cold air. And she likes it back there away from the stinky boys. And all the stinky boys like it over here. So they like hanging out at Grandma's house is what we call it. Huh. So I was going to go down to Wally World here in a little bit and get a little kiddie pool and fill that up. And whenever I start getting too hot, because I'm a hothead, man. I know there's a lot of people like me. Just freaking do things to prevent. Just don't let yourself get in a place where you can even get rattled, because this whole summer is going to be all about people trying to rattle people's cages, and it's going to be a very eruptive summer. Because just like what's happening to the earth, there's volcanoes erupting all over. It's all that molten energy pressure evolving, changing from the inside. Everything earth grows from the inside out, from the pressure inside. Well, it's going to start happening to more and more people, so if people don't have healthy ways of alleviating the pressures that they have within. And I don't even have bullshit to deal with like I used to. My life has been relatively bullshit free, besides a couple of little idiosyncrasies here and there. But that's just like, you get those with any roommate, you know. I just happen to have 4 dogs, a mom's dog, 5 dogs, a cat that are my roommates. And I'm one of those that like to go out and freaking do things and see things and be a part. I'm a this human incarnation is a spectator sport, and I like to be a part of. So it's cool that I get to go out and be a part of, and then come home and share those experiences with Mom. It looked like there were angels in the sky lined up when I was coming back. Kind of looks like that, or the crown at the top of like the Statue of Liberty. This is a pretty cool picture. I got it on the way home. When clouds look like that, to me, it just makes me feel like the angels are near. Yep. I live in a pretty cool place. I really do. I like it here, and it's like I'm cautiously optimistic to admit that. Because like other places I've lived before, it's like I like the newness of it. And then once the newness wears off, but the map people told me today that there's like they were telling me, I want to get someone to show me these places. We'll just drive around and he'll show me the places and give me his, tour guide, so to speak. So, anyway, that doesn't mind hanging out with the freaking Heyoka like me. So, anyway, I think that's about all I got for now. I wanted to come on earlier before, I was on this little pink cloud. I wanted to write it a little bit and share it with other people. Hopes to, because the last couple of days, man, I didn't even rewatch the lives, or I don't rewatch my stuff. I used to rewatch them when I uploaded them, but I don't watch what I say. I know what I say, and if I don't remember, I probably shouldn't have said it anyway. It's good. So I'm this close. I'm gonna find some swimming holes and stuff like that, and go down and get a fishing pole and get my hand. I used to fish quite a bit actually when I lived in Nebraska. I'm gonna give a hand in fly fishing.